What's up, Taiwan? Good evening. I'm Ethan Liu with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. National Security Police in Hong Kong have arrested the trustees of a disbanded charity which supported protesters. One of the trustees was the 90-year-old former head of the Hong Kong Catholic Church, Cardinal Zhang. Another of the 612 Humanitarian Relief Fund trustees was scholar Hoi Bok Kyung. He was arrested at Hong Kong airport as he was trying to fly for Europe for a conference. Police then rounded up 3 others on suspicion of colluding with foreign forces. The detained include Hong Kong Canadian pop star Denise Ho and barrister and veteran lawmaker Margaret Ann. All have been released on bail with their passports confiscated. The 612 Humanitarian Relief Fund was named after June 12, 2019, the day when about 2 million Hong Kongers protested the government. The fund raised the money to cover protesters' legal and medical fees. The fund was disbanded by National Security Police last year. We spoke to Samuel Chu, the founder of US-based advocacy group The Campaign for Hong Kong. He explains why the 612 fund was in the crosshairs of the national security law.
This goes deeper than just individuals being arrested. They are attacking a very fundamental right on 2 levels. But really the true intent, which is to send a message to anybody who remains in Hong Kong who would dare to exercise their freedom of speech or have done so in the past.
Here in Taiwan, a locally based Hong Kong civic group has denounced the arrests. Hong Kong Outlanders, a group founded by Hong Kongers in Taiwan, condemned the authoritarian crackdown in the territory. Since the national security law went into effect in Hong Kong in 2020, there has been an increase in residents emigrating abroad. Taiwan granted residency to nearly 13,000 Hong Kongers last year. Hong Kong Outlanders and other civic groups are calling for more support for people arrested by Hong Kong police. The Czech Republic Senate has voted to back Taiwan's participation in international agencies such as the World Health Organization and Interpol. The vote comes ahead of the World Health Assembly in Geneva later this month. It is the 2nd year in a row that the Czech Senate has called for Taiwan's inclusion before the WHO's annual meeting. Taiwan has been sidelined since 2017 due to opposition from China. The motion was led by Senator Pavel Fischer, who leads an international parliamentary group that seeks to change how democratic countries deal with Beijing. He tweeted that China has nothing that can block international cooperation. Taiwan's COVID-19 wave hit a new high on Thursday with over 65,000 new confirmed cases. As numbers mount, the government's introduced new rules to keep the medical system from overloading. Starting Thursday, anyone undergoing home isolation, home quarantine, or self-help management will be added to the daily tally of new cases if they get a positive rapid test result. But they will need to follow up with a doctor online to have the result confirmed. And with rapid tests hard to come by, Taiwan has started letting people import up to 100 tests for personal use. But people looking to make a profit should be warned that anyone caught reselling them could be subject to a fine of around $34,000 US. May 12th is International Nurses Day, commemorating nurses around the world who have played a critical role on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. With Taiwan fighting its biggest outbreak yet, our reporter Bing Wang spoke to nurses about how they're coping.
Nurses in Taiwan have some of the longest hours and lowest pay. And for the last 2 years, they've been on the front lines of the COVID pandemic. Wu Mengping has worked in healthcare for the last 30 years. As a chief nurse in one of Taiwan's largest hospitals, Wu said they'd never been so overworked as during the second COVID-19 outbreak in May 2021, when vaccination rates were almost 0 and hospitals were full.
所以我当时也觉得这个人力其实是非常吃紧，而且也非常需要的。当时其实是感觉每一分每一秒都是非常非常的紧凑哦。那人力的这个资源都是要立即到位的哦，所以当时让我感受是最深的。
There are over 300,000 people in Taiwan with nursing licenses, but only half are practicing nurses. Many have left the profession because of the work conditions and long hours. Surveys by the National Nurses Union reveal that nurses can tend up to 20 patients in just one shift, which is double the health department's recommended ratio of 8 to 10 patients to one nurse. With Taiwan now seeing its sharpest rise in COVID cases, there's additional strain on the country's nurses, who also face increasing exposure to the virus. Ji Soo-jing, the chair of Taiwan Nurses Union, has been fighting for higher wages and better resources for the country's nurses.
现在疫情期间，我看啊，每个人大概都是要超过10到12小时。你8个小时是下不了班的啦，所以时间就变长。但是这个都不能算加班费啊，因为他工作没做完啊。好，有可能啊。
Aside from the long hours, many nurses also have to deal with being mistreated by patients.
那有些时候可能到了急诊室，他就有时候心情不好就会咆哮，那对护理人员态度就不是那么的友善。
According to the Nurses Union, all these factors contribute to a decline in nurse recruitment.
药师的薪水可以到53000呢，他们又不是第一线。你看那个语言治疗师，都比我们还高哎。我们24小时照顾病人，我们薪水才4万多。
More than just a profession, both Wu and Ji feel that nursing is a vocation, that it takes love and dedication to care for the sick. But they also feel it's only just that nurses too get the benefits and the recognition they deserve. Kama Xu, Pichi Zhuang, and Bing Wang for TaiwanPlus.
Police are investigating the death of a rare Formosan black bear in central Taiwan. The bear had been wearing a satellite tracking collar, but researchers lost track of the signal last week, prompting a 3-day search. The bear's body was found buried in a wooded area on Monday with the tracking device removed. That has led investigators to suspect human involvement. The bear had a history of entering farms and orchards and taking food, and hunters operated in the area where its body was found. The Formosan black bear is an endangered species, which is protected under Taiwanese law. Conservationists believe only a few hundred remain in the wild. Police have appealed for anyone with information about the bear's death to come forward. Taiwan's largest technology exhibition will be held in person again for the first time in 2 years. Computex Taipei was forced to move the EXPO completely online because of the COVID pandemic. This year's show kicks off on Monday, May 24th, and runs for 3 days. Over 5,000 people have already registered, and companies from over 70 countries will participate in the tech mega event. Every year, Computex attracts top companies like Microsoft and NVIDIA, with keynote speakers sharing their ideas on the future of information technology. This year will also feature a section dedicated to one of the country's most important exports, semiconductors. One local chip maker, TSMC, still commands more than 50% of the global market. Team Taiwan has picked up 3 more medals at this year's Deaflympics in Brazil. A silver and 2 bronzes brought the team total to 10 so far at this year's games for the hard of hearing. In badminton, women's doubles, Shen Yanru and Fan Rongyu lost to Malaysia's team in the finals to take the silver. It was a sweet victory for the 2 athletes who both failed to place in the singles competition. Shen and Fan then went on to play each other in the mixed doubles, with Fan and teammate Chen Zhongyi taking the bronze. The 3rd medal of the day came in men's table tennis. Wang Yixiang picked up the bronze in the singles event. This year's Deaflympics will wrap up on Sunday. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. And finally today, we leave you with images of a 4-meter-long fossil discovered by Chilean scientists. The nearly 130 million-year-old remains are the only pregnant ichthyosaur that's ever been found. I'm Ethan Liu. Take care, and I'll see you next time.